Hello everyone, it's KillCam, and today we're going to talk about another H1Z1 base building tip. These days, raiders have the upper hand. This is a way to turn the tables on them in the interior of your base. You can get the benefit of 5 different deck foundations base security on the surface of one deck foundation, as well as throw up a gate or wall on each and every single cell on it. First thing though, I'll show you the basic process. You'll be putting one deck foundation in the middle of 4 other decks arranged to make a plus sign and extend the outside decks into the center deck with expansions. But before we see that, I'll show you the procedure as if we were doing it for just one side so it's clear how to do it. Here you can see me standing on the first deck, which will be the bottom of the plus sign. Now I place the center deck and align its edge as straight as I can and connect it to the deck I'm standing on so the seam is as close to perfect as possible. Refer to my video on lining up deck foundations if you're unsure how to do it. There we go, straight as an arrow. No overlaps, not 100% perfect, but 99% is good enough here. Next, start placing the double line of gates where the 2 decks meet along their edges. Now take a foundation expansion and extend it into the central deck so that it clips through it 1 grid square deep. Place your next level of gates on the end of the foundation expansion. Notice how it looks like you have gates internal to what would be the central deck. This is a way around our inability to place gates and walls on internal cells of deck foundations, and as a byproduct, when the extension is all closed in, adds another deck security to the security that must be broken to damage the portion of the deck inside the protection of that extension. While you're at it, place an extension going back the other way to the first deck too. Place more gates or walls there and extend the central deck's base protection onto 1/3 of the first deck too. The more you do this with adjacent decks, the more of a nightmare you turn the inside of your base to raid. Just 2 decks, but as you can see here, already 4 layers of gates to blow through just to gain full access from one deck to the next. And that's without taking into account any overhanging shelters that might make certain configurations unraidable from one or more sides. Following this line of building to its ultimate expression, you wind up with something like this. Note this deck is in the center of a 9 deck square arranged 3x3. This central deck foundation has extensions coming into it from all 4 sides and is pushing extensions back in all 4 directions. Notice how every single cell on it and in a ring on the decks around it is contained by a metal gate on all sides. The central deck has its own base protection, and portions of it are protected by the base protection from 4 other deck foundations for a total of 5 different base protections that must be broken to fully exploit it as a raider. At the very least, you will have gates literally everywhere. If you're feeling particularly evil, you can overlap large shelters from inside a zone of protection onto other decks to make unraidable sections. But that's a lesson for another video. I hope for the purposes of today, I've at least opened your eyes to how you can use expansions to turn even the simplest base layout into a nightmare to raid, even if your clan is offline. That's all for this KillCam update. Hit that like button and leave a comment if you're so inclined. I encourage you to hit that subscribe button as well to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and goodbye.